Good afternoon and welcome. My video here says I'm live, so welcome or welcome back. It is Monday, November 24th, the last Monday of November. Can you believe it? Wow. That's all I can say is wow. I don't know where the time has gone. We probably say that every week, and I think the older you get, the faster the time flies. So if you are here, let me know. I am connected both to YouTube and Facebook on Mondays at 3:30. I may be changing that. I'm not sure, moving it back a little bit. Let's put that up there. I am a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Akron, Ohio. And there is my contact information should you ever want to purchase anything. And hello, Rose, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Okay, take a deep breath. I have been on a roll creating and having so much fun with this stamp set I'm going to show you today. Still looking around to make sure. I have a couple of announcements. And one of those is, give you the information. And Shirley is here. Welcome to you. Okay, tomorrow, starting November 25th through December 1st. So December 1st is next Monday. Yes, next Monday. So that's a good long time, is our Black Friday sale. I think this is the earliest they've done it before. But anyway, these are the items that will be available. 40% off the Stampin' Blends. That is a great deal there. 40% off the trimmer and the blades. So if you need blades for your trimmer, this would be the time to do that. And 40% off ink bundles. I'm not exactly sure what that might be. Bundles of stamp pads, I would have to look because they've not exactly told us which ones. Okay, then 25% off select adhesives. That may be adhesive sheets, the strips, the things that maybe you don't use as often, I'm guessing. Okay. 15% off select cardstock. I think what you'd have to do is just jump in there and see. So let's get back up here for that. So I think that is a great deal. I know I use, and I have been using, those adhesive sheets. There's a good substitute when you don't want to use a boatload of Stampin' Dimensionals. So those are great. So anyway, it's going to be a great sale, but it is as supplies last. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in here and flip you down to my desktop and show you this stamp set that I'm just raving about today. It just caught my eye, so I had to order it. It's not an expensive one. Let me look that up because I think it's like $23 here in the, I'm thinking maybe 3 or 315 rows. I wouldn't go any earlier than that. 15 minutes would be a big help, but let me know if that works. Okay, the Joyful Tidings stamp set is on page 58 in the September to December, I just call it the Holiday Mini, mini catalog, and it's $22. It's simple, it's got great sentiments, and I love the font for every one of those. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using, and I sure made a big dent in what I'm going to be sending this year. The other product that I'm going to feature is this Christmas Words Collage hybrid embossing folder. And it's expensive, but I don't think it's out of line for all that you get for it. It's $42. And if you're not familiar with our hybrid embossing folders, they cut and emboss at the same time. Okay, Rose, it's not set in stone that I will be doing that, but I've been thinking that with the daylight, and you probably all know that I do meet some friends for dinner when I'm finished with my live, and if I move it up even 15 minutes or so, get a little bit more time to share things with you instead of feeling rushed, and also get to my dinner location with friends a little bit earlier because it is dark earlier. So anyway, but this is the hybrid embossing folder. And if you see here in the catalog, you can just emboss and create a background with that. So use it as a regular embossing folder. And it's a 3D. So you would need plate 1, this with your paper in there, and plate 4, the gray one. But if you want to cut out all of these amazing words, and I've got a bunch of those, you just pop this in the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo, and you can kind of hear it click in there. I don't know if you heard that click, but it just clicks in there. In other words, it won't move around. Put your paper in there, and this is what you get. And I'm really into the gold, and the gold paper, the gold sheets that we have really show up the words really, really well. So I've got a bunch of those that I can pick out. Now let me show you the others colors. Like here I have some in cherry cobbler and white. They don't show up as much. You would need to color those a little bit. But the gold is, it is wonderful. But since we've started carrying these, I've loved our hybrid embossing folders. They are wonderful. So let's put that away. And then the other thing I'm going to show you okay, that's not going to go back in there, is this embossing folder, also a 3D, and it's on page 22 of the mini catalog, and this is called Traditional Wreath Embossing Folder, and it's quite large. So if you're using it for a regular card, part of it might be cut off. It still looks great. I'm actually going to only use part of it on the card that I'm going to show you. So it's a nice, deep 3D folder. Okay, I feel a sneeze coming on, so I apologize if that's going to happen here in a minute. Maybe it'll go away. Okay, so I'm using this, and I'm going to start off with a simple card that is probably a non-traditional color combination, but I have a whole bunch of cards to show you and explain what I did to make those and how I made them. So this is what I'm going to start off with. And just using some different products, a couple of different techniques maybe. I'm going to start off with a card base that is 11 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And this is a top fold, and this is very vanilla. Also a color I don't use a whole lot. And I have cut out, this is, I always forget the name, Textured Notes dies. They're just rectangles that have all different kind of designs around them. Let's see if I can grab those. Because I didn't pull those over here. And they just add a nice bit of texture to your cards without just chopping a rectangle. Okay, they're really nice. And then you've got these smaller label dies too. So very versatile, something that would be great to add to your stash. And this one happens to be, I think it was the third largest one, 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And just that little design around the edge gives it just kicks it up a lot. Not that you can't just cut a rectangle, but you can. All right, and I have already run through that embossing folder with some two-tone paper that we have. This is dark Blackberry Bliss, and on the other side is the lighter color. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is the dark, and then this is the light, if you want to see the contrast with the two. We now have these two-tone papers in all the colors. Well, I believe it's all the colors. But what's nice is we can really change this up by taking, okay, Rose, catch the replay. I think you'll like it, and have a great week. Thanks so much. Use a sanding block or a pretty heavy-duty nail file, and just start bringing that color through because it has a white core. So I'm going to add that little bit of interest and texture. And the cards that I'm going to show you today they're easy. There's a little bit of embossing on some of my samples. Heat embossing, by the way, because I really got into the gold, because I think that adds a lot to a card. So there we have that white core showing through. So I'm going to put that on this card base. Kind of, let's see, do I want that way or that way? Probably doesn't make a whole lot of difference. And turn this way. So I'm going to kind of angle this and give it some liquid glue. Because anytime you are using an embossing folder and you've got that texture there, you're going to get a better adhesion with liquid glue or something that's really strong, so it gets down there in all of those crevices, I guess would be a good way of saying it. Okay, I thought I had it. I think I've got a new, this one's almost empty. Let's make sure I've got this. Anyway, it gets down into the crevices of your embossing folder, and it's probably not going to come apart either in the mail or over time. So I'm going to put this on here at an angle. So I hope you all had a great week last week. As I said, it went fast. Excuse me. And then this is going to go at a little bit of an angle. And today I think it's like 50 degrees out there. And tomorrow we've got rain coming. My daughter lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they were getting tons of rain today, and it's all coming here tomorrow. So Shirley, it's probably going to head your direction after that. All right, let's take a look at these large kind of moon shape stamps in this set. And this middle part is obviously where you can put one of these pretty words, like Merry Christmas, any of those, or any of the sentiments that are in the stamp set. So I'm going to pair this with Mossy Meadow, a great green to use. And I just re-inked it a little bit ago, so it should be nice and juicy. Want to make sure I don't get the edges there. And this particular one has the fruit pieces, some pine cones. I'm going to let that sit there for a second, where this one is a little bit more plain, and I have lots of samples to show you using both. Wow, that is pretty. I'll clean that a little bit later. So there we've got that. And this is, as I said, it's a simple and elegant looking card. Now let's pick out a sentiment here. Okay, we've got Merry and Bright, but that covers up enough of that. Let me see if I can zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. There we go. Good tidings to you. Okay, there's Merry Christmas. And of course, this is going to get popped up. This sample here that I made has Noel. Again, very, very simple and I think elegant. Here we've got Season's Greetings. I think that's the one I'm going to go with. Season's Greetings. And I'm going to use a piece of the adhesive sheet that I mentioned. And I do hope that these are going to be on the 25% off select adhesives. I did one of the cards here where I just used strips of these all the way around, and it really gives a nice oomph to your card instead of using, I needed a lot, and it makes it much better than using a whole bunch of dimensionals. It's the same thickness as dimensionals, but doesn't take as much time either. So let's see, I'm going to glue this down as well. So what's on tap for Thanksgiving this week? Can't believe that Thursday is Thanksgiving. This is the week I was supposed to be in Texas, and it just didn't work out this year, so hopefully next year it will. I was there 2 years ago for Thanksgiving. So I'm having dinner with some friends. My usual Thanksgiving was with the friend that has been in the hospital for a while. She's now in an assisted living while she gets her strength back so she can go home soon. So let's put this season's greetings on here, but before I do that, let's add some Wink of Stella. Instead of adding additional color, I'll show you one where I colored the fruit and also colored the pine cones. And this is pulling in a little bit of the green from the mossy meadow, which adds, you can see that, which adds a little bit more color. Can never have too much glittery stuff in my world, I guess. So I like that little bit that gives that. Now there's one more piece of fruit. And then let's hope this works, because I think this is about out. I'm going to tap this. I know it's noisy. Is it coming out? There's not much in there. I need to get a new Wink of Stella or two. But sometimes that adds just enough. Yeah, there's some sparkle there. Okay, good enough. So now I have this strip of adhesive sheet, and I'm going to cut part of that off. And when you cut pieces off, don't throw them away. Every little bit gets used, just like it does with our regular Stampin' Dimensionals. You use every little bit. And there we've got our season's greetings. And then I have some rhinestone basic jewels here that I colored with the dark Stampin' blend in Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to add that to the card. And I did this a while ago, so I make sure those would dry. And that's what's nice about it. You can color the dimensional, or not the dimensionals, you can color the rhinestones and you can color the pearls. But I wanted to use the little bling here, so let's see, I've got 5 of these. And when you lift those off, you want to make sure you get the little glue dot that's underneath. I'm going to add these up here where it looks like there might be little berries. So when you make your Christmas cards, are you a traditional red and green, or do you like to change it up a little bit and make something a little bit different? I think it depends on who I'm sending the card to, what color I might use. And I've gotten to the point where I don't mass produce and make all the cards the same. And that's why this was so much fun. So I've got about at least 10 or 11 different cards here that are just kind of ready to go. All different. Okay, so let's get an envelope ready to go. And, you know, we don't have vanilla envelopes anymore. And I guess people just probably throw them away anyway, which we know they do. But it does need to be decorated. So I'm going to add a little bit to the front of this. And make sure I've got enough there. And put that on the front. And let's put a little bit on the back. I got some green there on the flap anyway. So let's just cover that up. And that looks pretty good on the back too, because I got some green there from that spot. So that works. I think I do have some leftover vanilla ones someplace. I just don't know where. So there's the card for this week, but let me show you all the cards that I made with this set in a very short period of time. Okay, I did this one. Now this one and this are almost identical, just a different color combination. White with some red, and using the designer series paper. Can't remember which suite it's from. And this is also Mossy Meadow. Add some red there with Noel. Okay, here's another one. And I took two of these. This one, put them together, did a little bit of green blending in the center there, and some of those red blingy things. I know that comes from this suite. That's where these are from. Traditional sparkling sequins. And it's also from this paper pack, which is the Traditions of Christmas 12 by 12 specialty paper. Okay, now here is another non-traditional, but I made this one a New Year's card. It's black, gray granite, and oh my gosh. Pool Party. How can I forget Pool Party? And for this, I have all of these ephemera things that have come with bundles or suites. And this Happy New Year comes from, and I know I'm going to have to use them up. Now, this one has other things in than just Christmas, too. This is from the, let's get that out of there. Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. This is in the annual catalog and $7. So this will be around till the catalog goes away. But we've got Get Well in here, Best Wishes, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, a lot of different things in this ephemera pack. Sweet Baby, as well as the holidays too. So I tried to use that a little bit, trying to use up my stash. So there's a Happy New Year. This one is also a little non-traditional with some white embossing. I didn't color in any of this. I used our party banners. And this is the paper from a new, is online. This is from this bundle, and this is Modern Christmas. So it is more along the modern lines, and simple and elegant. And then inside this one, I tore the bottom a little bit and took the Versamark ink pad and went along the edge and added gold embossing powder. And then this season's greetings comes from this ephemera pack called Greetings for You. This is in the mini catalog on page 15. And there are lots and lots in here. These are adhesive, or you can not tear the adhesive off and put them on with dimensionals. So this one has lots and lots here. So I've got lots of those to use. I know they'll stick around a while for me. So look through your things and see what needs to be used. Okay, now this is probably one of my favorites. They're all favorites. I love every one of them. That's with that modern Christmas paper. And this is from, just trying to use it up, the foiled frames. And it goes with the Floral Impressions suite and bundle. And I know I've used these before, so those are great for anything that you're going to add gold to. And then all of that is gold embossed along with one of the sentiments that comes from the stamp set. Okay, here is another very, very simple one with nothing behind it, just one of those textured notes dies. A little circle from Stylish Shapes. And I tried to match it up with that. And then some of those sequins. Very, very simple. This is non-traditional. And I don't know where I came up with it, but I had the paper laying here. And I was starting to create, so I thought I would just go ahead and do it. And it is Calypso Coral. And we've got some pecan pie, gold embossing, and then I can use those same colors with the fruit and the pine cones. And then Season's Greetings from the embossing folder. So again, simple, a little different color, but I love it. And this one is from that same ephemera pack. And this was the one that I used a whole bunch of the embossing, or excuse me, the dimensional pack. And then I did fussy cut this out. I don't know that those stamps are really designed to fussy cut, but they worked. And it wasn't too bad. Glued that on there, added some ribbon, Merry Christmas. And then sending love and joy inside. And that comes from the traditional labels bundle on the inside. And there's actually a folder, or excuse me, this label that goes with it. So that could go there. But again, I did all of these in vanilla, and this one was in white. So just another option. Sending love and joy. Merry Christmas. And then we have this one. Probably not my real favorite, but I like it. 'Tis the Season. Some designer paper. And the large circle from Stylish Shapes, and that just fits there. Those little sequins. And some red ribbon. And inside, Tidings of Joy this Christmas season, with a little bit of ink blending. And last but not least, a little bit of plaid from the Tidings of Joy. I think I've got that right. Gold embossed, and Tidings of Joy this Christmas season, and those little bling things there. in, I think that's Granny Apple Green. So again, simple, easy, season's greetings on the inside, all ready to go. So within a short period of time, thanks to cutting all of these out, could have used those on all of them. These cards are ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed today's watch, and let's get back to the one that I made today. There we go, and the envelope. And have a great rest of the week. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving wherever you go to celebrate. Don't eat too much and enjoy all those leftovers. So take care. I will see you next Monday. And I'll post earlier. I'll put a post on either Facebook or and YouTube if I'm going to change the time. It'll be good to get that into December. So, and there's always the replay. Don't forget that. So if it's not a time that's convenient for you, just check out the replay and enjoy. Sit back, relax, and have a great time. Take care. Bye-bye. Excuse me. Bye-bye. Okay, let's go back to my face here for a minute.